Good to be here. Recently, I've been doing mostly I've did some recordings since my last version, but I said since I haven't gone live, I might as well go live today. Let me share, could if you can please help. I'm just going to start it off. I will hit this a couple of times. D-Boy West Coast Uncensored is our Cash App. Anybody willing to help with this work to make it better and to update things and just expand and make it better as I'm working again. I actually have a couple other channels I'm doing on the down low, and not the down low. It's just that it's not connected to this channel because it's not consciousness. It's more something else I'm doing. But I do have a review of music channel that I'm willing to look at and do that I have not started, but have opened up, but have not did a video as yet. But besides that, I just want to talk about thank everybody for the last few videos that we got onto the holographic. We've talked about the holographic reality, and then I did the whole thing of the last recent one. We did the windows or the house of mirrors, how that was connected with a holographic reality, and how the space and place that we're in now and the in touch of our soul we are to hearing, unraveling many on this level, are hearing and taking place with them, are doing within them, and experience within them is happening now. And we went into the mirrored reality, how the house of mirrors was the reflections by one light, but appeared to be many, and that was connected to a greater state of view by learning to get out of the house of mirrors. If you ever went to if you ever went to a place like the fair or whatever would have a house of mirrors, and you had to go in and through the house of mirrors find your way out, which wasn't easy. Well, this is kind of like the whole thing about a maze. There's a Native American group in Arizona, and that's one of their symbols is the maze of life. Learning to waken yourself up to your authentic yourself as you wake up and start peeling back the illusions or the false sense of the ego and all the layers of hurt, pain, of the shadow self, the darkness that we reflect. And we just really thank you for those two videos that we've really been going really good and well on those. And we've been taking this to a deeper phase and state for them who are really wanting to go into a higher state. And I got a window over here, and I got somebody over here working on their car or something. So if you hear the noise, I might have to close that window in a second. If I keep hearing that noise, sorry about that. I don't know if you guys hear it through my system here at Riverside. And Riverside, thank Riverside for being a very good platform to come on here and do what needs to be done. Yes, so definitely that is happening, and that is even happening now. So I may jump up and change this because I just heard the noise and the tools, and I don't want that to interrupt or be too much on my listeners. Even though I do have a noise aspect of my computer in the Riverside, but anyways, I just really wanted to just get into this and talk about this. And see who's here if it's anybody because I do have a special guest today, somebody that's never been here, and I don't see them coming in as of yet. Let me see if they said anything to me as of yet. They said 3 p.m. Okay. So they haven't entered in yet. I wanted to enter in a little bit and talk about it. Also, I'm going to be doing some things and covering some great some poets who have talked alchemy, Gnosticism in our past, really some very spiritual poems that used esoteric occultism in their poems in the past. People even as many as 120 years ago, some other ones. And also I'm going to share some of mine that I have not shared here before. So we're going to get into that and talk about that. So yeah. And this platform of Riverside. So when somebody added themselves in, I don't know if I need to add them. So let me look at my glasses, or something pops up on my screen to let them know they're trying me to let them in. I don't see it as yet. So I'm just watching. So just be a little patient with me because this is the first time since I've got this. As you know, in the past I had a few guests that came on, multiple times. But since I've had Riverside platform, it hasn't happened. So yeah, so I'm just kind of waiting for somebody to come in. When they do, I will let you know if there's anything I need to do to add them. Maybe I need to add them. Let me see if there's anything I could do to add them in. Um, Anything popping up to let me know if they're in. Um, okay. But anyway, so how is everybody doing? We are definitely here. We are in a space, and like I said, we have been talking about some very deep and very going deeper stuff because I've had some experiences I had mentioned recently of breaking codes. Shit, when we go into a dream state of sleep, we're not staying within the body of our consciousness and the fact of who we are, what we are in our essence. We are actually making choices. We're actually going to other places. It's almost like we are going to put ourselves down, and then another state we're raising ourselves up. We're actually what we'd call raising, ascending, resurrecting, and we were having experiences in the state. And recently, I was in the space where a I was kind of sitting there and went to sleep, and I woke up in the physical body, right in this physical awareness space of this place physically. And I was talking to somebody, and my wife and I said, did I get up and put some water in a mason jar, and then as I covered the mason jar with my hand going left to right, the ripple of water would follow like an energetic field in my hand, and then I'd go back and it would do it. And she said, no. So I said, I went to a space where I seen the space and place that happened to me just recently. It just happened to me at the last night. I mean, it just had happened to me the night before, and it was so real to me. I felt that it really happened even in the physical realm. And some would say, well, how do you know these places? Have you ever had these kind of places, dreams where you go to sleep, you're maybe in the brushes in nature, and you're going through a bunch of leaves and trails, and you're brushing up against brush and some trees, and it's and you get a scratch on your arm from some brush or some limbs, and then you wake up the next day as you come out of this, and the next day, and then the next thing you see is, or the next thing you experience is the fact that they're not that you go, God, I'm scratched up, like, and then I go, oh wow, I experienced this before. Um, and when I experienced this before, it was last night. I went through brush and I did get scratched by some brush and some limbs because I was in nature. And then when I pull it back up and I'm going in the physical realm after waking up, I'm scratched up like it happened in this physical form. There's a transforming of us going to a space and place where the evidence becomes reality to us that we are able to go into other timelines, other spaces, other dimensions, and other things. So, other places. So, those are kind of the experience you're having. Um, Building up my guest today, still waiting to see if they come in. And since this is my first time on Riverside, I don't see them or feel them as yet coming in. Let me see what I need to do just to see if I need to add anything or anything like that. No, we're live on YouTube. Um, Definitely live on YouTube. On YouTube. Uh, Let me send her a message. Um, so I hope everything's going well with you guys. Trying to get this together. First time using this format on this of inviting people in. So just seeing if there's any delay or any problem because I have not did this, so I don't know if I have to accept, if it pops up accept or anything like that. So it's sent. So let's go back here. Uh, yeah. Script. I did not add anything today to that we were going to talk about. I'm going to interview them and let it flow. Um, So this is no special thing I'm bringing out today as I usually do on myself. So it looks like a freestyle until I get an answer from her uh, or she comes in. Um, Definitely looking for that answer. Um, because it was set for this time. Anything that gives, let me see, the invite guest. Um, I already did kind of set a thing for her to come in. Let me add another run just in case it didn't go forth, but I think it did. Um, but anyways, don't want to be quiet. So yeah, those are the things that we had talked about here, and very good. A lot of interaction. Added a few more people have definitely came in. It says it's already, that code is out. I don't have to resend it. So just waiting to hopefully that she's going to come in. Anyway, so yeah, but anyways, hit up our channel. We have a lot of good information. If you're a conscious person ready to break and are in for the deeper things, have been awakened, this channel's for you. If you're coming out of religion, it could be too advanced for you, but if you are able and you're a quick learner, which I think these days and everything that's happening, the quick learners are automatic, are happening fast. Because remember, the thing about awakening is we live in degrees. It's a degree based thing. Not everybody's exactly the same. Like I said, there is no equality. We're all puzzle pieces. And this is physical, natural, like I've even said here, where people are looking for equality. There's no such a thing as equality. There's no such a thing as yin and yang. Opposites attract. Not everybody can be an NBA basketball player and be 6'7". It's some of us are not tall enough. We may be skilled as a 6'9" player, or 6'7" player, but we're not tall enough to make the mark that they do because it's a sport of height. So, yeah. So those are the type of things that we start finding out with the yin and the yang, right? We start finding out. Let me add some more light over here, as it seems to be a little dark. And let me close this window. And hopefully this will give us just a little bit more light that will be better. Maybe that's enough. Instead of me turning on the light, I'll let the nature's light come in. But we're really overcast today. Yeah, that's much better. We're really overcast today. And let me see if there's any way to, anything I need to let somebody in. I don't see any kind of thing saying somebody's entering in as of yet. So nothing's equal, but everything contrasts. There's a yin to the yang. That's why opposites attract, feminine and masculine, energetic fields attract, right? They either attract or repel. I heard an interesting thing, it hit me the other day, that everything, your thoughts will be in vibration. Once they turn into vibration, what ends up happening is once they go into vibration, then they go from energy to vibration, and then they start attracting and repelling. As you attract and repel, you're going to draw things to you or people to you or energy towards you that actually is your opposites of the yin and yang, right? That's how it works. So when it comes to you, and that's why you would end up repelling things. And many people, that's why when people go into, I'm going to just say it, go into prayer. And notice praying is like being prey. When you don't understand the energy concept of pray, you will sit up there and maybe pray for things, but really your energy's putting out a field of repelling because you're begging. You're not really attracting because you don't understand the concept that it's energy. You're looking for an outside entity, thinking it's an outside entity that's granting you something when everything is energy. So if you're repelling things by saying, I'm always this, I don't have this, you're creating that vibration to repel abundance to you because you're playing the source of what you're putting out is I'm lacking, I don't have. And that would be every aspect of lack. It just doesn't have to be money. It would be relationships. It would be confidence. It would be anything that you would maybe not want, because you're really taking on a character of that you want this. And as you take on the character that you want something, but you're really showing that you're not matching the vibration that draws it, you will bring forth everything that you're saying because you're talking about it and not really drawing it to you through your vibration. So you're saying, I need this, I need that, which is ultimately affirmation is your lack. And guess what you don't get? You don't get that what you're begging for. And this is when we don't understand and we're looking for the reality to be something outside of you to grant you something like Aladdin's lamp, right? So what happens in Aladdin's lamp is you don't get that what you're trying to bring forth. You're saying your affirmation is I'm lacking, so lacking is what you draw to you. Your vibration is drawing that because your thoughts turned into vibration, now turned into vibration of lacking or drawing or repelling or attracting. And that's why many people go into pray and not realize you can go into pray and be prey to your lacking. Or like the wildebeest spiritually, remember we're talking about metaphors here. That'd be like the wildebeest saying, it's not fair that I walk the field and a lion comes. Right? It's not fair. It's not equal. It's the lion and the wildebeest are not equal. One is after to eat you for a meal. You're just trying to get through the field and stay alive. You're prey. Get it? Notice it's by this, and this goes spiritually. A lot of times we're praying for things that we're really repelling away from us. So, yeah, it's this. These concepts really don't come forth in that. So we're start looking at this. Is where's our mindset? Where's our understanding? Because in the reality of this 5D reality, Yada Baoth, if you want to call it that, Yahweh, my people suffer or destroyed from lack of knowledge. That goes with this reality. When you don't know is when you ought to know. And then if you don't know and wisdom's not abroad with you, you can suffer things. And when you're doing things that are really not understanding what you're doing, right, then this is what happens. So I was supposed to, we're roughly around the 18-minute mark we're going to. And let me see, I was supposed to have, maybe this is how I let her in, is this is her. Let me see. Cherish. Hi. I don't think you're here, but hi, Cherish. I was waiting for my guests to come in, and they have not came in as of yet. And that's why when Cherish came in, because this is the first time on this new platform that I used anybody to bring in, I have sent her a leak. Oh, it is her. Hopefully, and I don't see anything that I can do to say, hey, here it is. Because this appears to be you, the one I'm waiting on. Let me see. Why? Show on screen. Use the link to tap in. Show on screen. Let me see what's happening here. Trying to see if there's a place. It doesn't show me a place to add or ask me to bring you in. It's just sending a link. This is the first time I used it, so. Okay. And I don't know that I can fix this and know enough about it, because to me it doesn't make sense. Yeah, this to me doesn't make a lick of sense. That the Cherish Castaneda, that just gets me. So let me see something. How can I bring in somebody? Let me see my settings here. All settings. Let me see my settings. Let me see if it says anything about bringing in a guest. Okay. Well, let's do this. Since it's not happening this way, it doesn't seem to be showing me. I don't see anything to let me come in. Why it's this way, I don't know. This really aggravates me. It does. Why would I invite somebody to come in and then them not be able to come in? Okay. I am going to stop the stream and I'm going to delete the stream. All right. We're going to go out. I will let you know what I find out and for you.